We live in a society that can be incredibly self obsessed. We're constantly bombarded with messages that say things like, go on, treat yourself, be true to yourself, chase your dream. We're encouraged to think about what would make ourselves feel good and make our own needs and desires the priority. And we can then be tempted to see other people as a means to get what we want. You may or may not be fans of those many reality TV shows that are on at the moment. I really love the ones that centre around people demonstrating their skills, baking, pottery, singing, all sorts of talents. But there has been a proliferation of shows where the contestants are looking for love. They come on the show to find a relationship. And time again, we hear people say they're looking for the one who is going to make them feel good, to fulfill their needs, and to put them on a pedestal, to love them above all. Now, these desires are not innately wrong. We need to take care of ourselves, and it can be very harmful to be a person who is constantly serving everyone else's needs and not looking after themselves. And of course, we would strongly counsel against getting into a relationship with someone who didn't care for us or make us feel good. Caring for our own well-being, self-compassion and self-care are things that I would recommend people do in order to take care of their own mental health. God cares about our physical and our mental health. But it is also recognised that if we focus on ourselves too much and don't look outwards, that's not good for our well-being either. In the NHS, people are recommended to follow the 5 steps to well-being. These steps are a really good secular invention that doesn't come from the church, but it's really interesting to note that one of the steps is to give. It's acknowledged that giving to others is beneficial to our own health and well-being. Giving is good for us, and it can make us feel good. Looking after the needs of others fulfills a deeper purpose in us. Jesus knows who we are. He knows what we need. And in this amazing sermon, he was outlining what human flourishing looks like. So let's think back to those reality TV shows all about love. How refreshing it would be to hear someone say, as they come into the contest, I'm looking for someone that I can love so that I can make them feel good, serve their needs, and love them above all. How differently do you think these relationships might turn out if both partners entered in with that attitude? You may have heard this old parable. It's been attributed to a Rabbi Haim of Rom Shishok. One day, a man said to God, I would like to know what heaven and hell are like. He was shown 2 doors. Inside the first one, in the middle of the room, was a beautiful dining table with a delicious pot of stew in the middle. It really made his mouth water. It smelt so good. However, he noticed that the people sitting around the table were very thin and unhealthy looking. They looked like they were starving. They were each holding a spoon with a very long handle, which could reach into the pot. However, the handles were so long, they couldn't get their spoons into their mouths. They looked so miserable that the man shuddered. This was hell. So he hurried to close the first door and look inside the second. What he saw really confused him. The room was exactly the same. There was a beautiful table and another delicious pot of stew. But how different the people were. They looked happy and well fed. They were laughing and talking together. As he watched, he realised they were using their long spoons to feed each other. The man was puzzled. He said to God, I don't understand. God smiled. It's simple, he said. Love only requires one skill. These people learned early on to share and feed one another, while the greedy only think of themselves.